I want to bring on today's guest, Mahesh Roy, who is the Investor Strategies Program Director at the Institutional Investor Group on climate change. So some of the comments that stayed with me since COP28, December of 2023, were when you were on a panel with FAIR and the former ambassador to the United Nations Food and Agricultural Organization, the FAO, and you were saying that you thought food systems transformation was going to take place really quickly, and that investors would be diving into this opportunity. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think I wouldn't go 100% to say that it will happen very quickly. I think what's promising is that it can happen very quickly, and they can transition very quickly. So investors who have sort of signaled their commitment to aligning with the Paris Agreement and aligning their investment strategies with the Paris Agreement are obviously looking at different sectors and different areas of focus in which they can help the transition. And if you look at the IPCC, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change reports, their most recent one being AR6, you look at the different scenarios in the different sectors, the agriculture, forestry, and other land use, which food systems sort of fits under, is a sector that can transition, very quickly compared to, say, transport, which won't make it by 2050, energy systems, which we hope will make it by 2050, and real estate, which will be well past 2050. There is the ability for food systems to transform in a way that is net zero, by 2030, and due to the increased sort of focus on nature. I mentioned Nature Action 100 plus Nature Action 100 that we launched recently now has over 200 signatories in just a year, engaging with 100 listed companies that sort of have the highest impact on nature. It shows that there's a real will to understand how to move this transition as quick as it can. But in saying that, the practicalities mean that there is other things that need to be considered. I think, you just have to look at the farmers' protests on the European continent recently to show that it isn't a given. But I think there is certainly if there is the will from policymakers and the will from investors to sort of lean into this transition, then it can happen very quickly. And my own personal opinion is that those things are starting to come together, and it will happen a lot quicker than people think.